Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Beltran. I live in the city of San Antonio, Texas. I'm going to explain to you about a vindictive classic prosecution by the government. The government took my property that I have owned for more than 30 years for $50, and I'm going to explain to you exactly how it happened. Back in March 29, 2007, I got arrested for 5.2 grams of marijuana that was in another location. But even though I went to jail for it, and that particular day, that when I got arrested, they took thousands and thousands of dollars of my property in the house. Not only that, they also took my jewelry that I had in my possession. And up to this day, I haven't got it yet. Detective Tony Patterson was the one that stole my Rolex watch back in March 29, 2007. 6 months later, he come back, and that is in October the 15th, 2008, at 7 o'clock at night, saying that I sold him $50 of cocaine. But the problem is this, he's the same detective that stole my Rolex watch back in March 29, 2007. My argument is this, that these peoples, they all are together as a conspiracy to cover up that theft that took place back in 2007. Now, they took my property, like I said, for $50 from this same detective that's claimed that I sold him $50 worth of cocaine. This detective needs to be prosecuted. Folks, I'm going to tell you exactly in details exactly how this classic vindictive prosecution took place, because I want to tell the viewers and the audience throughout the country, if this happened to me, it can happen to you. You need to open up your eyes, because the government, when they're out to get you, they're going to get you. They can fabricate lies, and they're going to get you on those fabricating lies. The government is good in making lies and prosecuting people that are innocent. Even though they're innocent, they find them guilty because they're going to be threatened. They're going to get 30 years. Now check this out, peoples. This same detective that stole my Rolex watch back in March 29, 2007, that came back in October, 5 months later, saying that I sold him $50 worth of cocaine. Now, the problem is this. How in the hell this guy's going to come 5 months later and say that I sold him $50 when he committed perjury before the federal courts? He lied, and because of that lie, I ended up going to federal prison for 1.5 years because of this man. I want you to know, and I want you to go to my website. I got a Facebook. It's called The Untouchables Beltran in San Antonio, Texas. Look it up and then get all the facts so you can be able to see for yourself this vindictive prosecution. The prosecutor, they don't care if you're innocent or not. They just want a conviction. But the thing is this, for them to take my property that I own for 30 years for the same detective that stole my Rolex watch is an injustice. And I want you, the viewers, to look at this, because I want you to learn and understand that the government, they're going to use prejudiced testimony to take my property away just because I pleaded guilty. Because the thing is that when I pleaded guilty, it's because of this. Number one, when I was going to take this trial all the way, I had the best lawyers called Ellen Brown, Jay Norton. They were going to take this to trial because the thing is, this never happened on October the 15th. Now, the thing is, the only reason why I pleaded guilty, and you can look at the video on my website, on Facebook, where the news media from Channel 12, they say that I was looking at 30 years in federal prison for $50. Now, the thing is this, I have a clean record. I've never been convicted. I've never been sentenced. In other words, I have a clean record. But nonetheless, I was threatened on the telephone to another lawyer by the name of George Dunbar. He was on the telephone with the federal prosecutor, and they told me that if I don't take the plea agreement that particular day, they were going to arrest my wife, and they were going to arrest my son, and they were going to wind up going to prison on this $50 of cocaine that I sold on October the 15th on a superseding indictment. I want you folks to listen, and I want your folks to listen and see the videos for yourself. Me going for 30 years for $50, and I got threatened by the federal prosecutor, Joey Contreras. It's no more than a joke. And the thing is this, that These characters, these clowns, they need to be prosecuted. But now, putting that to the side, I want you as an audience that I got threatened that my wife is going to get arrested. My wife is suffering from major depression. She's under professional care by a doctor. She's also been diagnosed with cancer stage 3. The thing is this, she got a death sentence. So I had no choice but to give in to these cockroaches and plead guilty to the guilty plea of $50. Folks, I want you to understand, as a Christian, I put family first. I didn't put my interest first. I put my wife's interest because I want to be by her side in case something was to happen. How can they going to arrest my wife and then they're going to give her so much time in prison with cancer and dying, and we are not going to be together as a family? But I did it because of love for my wife. I've been together with my wife since 1968. God put us together, and we're going to stay together, but I had to plead guilty to the charge because they were going to arrest her. This is no more than a joke. I want you to look at my website and get all the facts and see for yourself. I'll be going to trial on July the 23rd in the morning. I want you to be in tune. I'm gonna keep up to date and feed you all the information on the status of my case. I want those people that came to see me from Washington, D.C. back in November, and they were from the Justice Department. They told me never to let down, never to quit, but fight, fight, fight. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fight to the very end. If this federal judge, Xavier Rodriguez, says, well, Mr. Beltran, you pleaded guilty. But Judge, you got to understand, on your paperwork that you sent me when I was locked up in federal prison, you said Mr. Beltran does not need no lawyers. Mr. Beltran don't need to investigate. Mr. Beltran can litigate this case. But the problem is when I got forced into pleading guilty, that throw that out the window. So now I have to fight for my property. I have to fight for my rights. And my constitutional rights were violated by these peoples. And I want the public, you, to know if it happened to me, it can happen to you. This prosecutor, Nelda Valadez, she's going to use prejudice testimony from the same guy that stole my Rolex watch back in March 29, 2007, that's claiming that he came in October the 15th at 7 o'clock at night, that I sold him $50. When we went to trial back in 2008, the case was dismissed because the 3 officers, they committed perjury. They lied under oath. They lied to the district judge. They lied to the peoples there in the 12 jurors. They lied to my judge, to the other folks that were in court. They lied. They were found guilty of perjury. I want you to look at my website and see for yourself and take out those documents so that you can be able to see for yourself. This is all for today, but I'm going to put in some more websites. I'm going to put in some more videos as we go closer to the court's date, which is back in July the 23rd. I will bring you an update, and I will bring in more videos. I'm nervous today because I've never done this before, but it seems that God is on my side and victory is on my side, and I'm going to prosecute whoever did this vindictive prosecution against me. And I'm looking for a lawyer anywhere in the United States that is willing to help me fight these cockroaches. And I'm asking for a lawyer, I'm asking for the FBI, I'm asking for the Justice Department to investigate this police department here in the city of San Antonio, because they got a habit that when they call protocol, they all come together and try to get a conviction. And I'm asking you, the public, to put your input and see what you think. For 30 years, send me to prison for $50 from the same detective, Tony Patterson, that stole my Rolex watch. Is an injustice. Theft is theft, and no one is above the law. No one is above the law. I want you to go to my website, take out all the information that you need, and give me your input. You got my website is John Beltran, The Untouchables, here in San Antonio, Texas. Thank you very much for your time.